In the previous session, we have discussed about cloud reference model. Now we will see how to provide security in a public cloud. We know that in case of public cloud, all the data or application is accessible to general public, and hence it was less secure when compared to the private cloud. So, and hence security becomes a deep concern in cloud computing when it comes to a public cloud. So, what are the security concerns in case of this public cloud? So, the various security concerns are multi-tenancy, security assessment, shared risk, staff security screening, distributed data centers, physical security, policies, coding, data leakage. Okay, we will see each of these. So multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy means the resources are shared, or all the computing resources are shared. So here, by sharing various applications or computing resources in a virtual environment, a cloud service provider can speed up all IT-enabled operations and also increase the efficient usage of resources, and also can achieve the automation and agility, which means that the revenue or the profit of an organization can be improved to a greater extent. And here it is given a cloud tenant's critical applications and confidential data must be as secure and compliant as they have been in the traditional data center. Okay, which means earlier all the applications and data was stored in the traditional data center. Okay, wherein the traditional data center was located within the organization premises. Now everything has been moved to the cloud, that is applications and user data has been moved to the cloud. Now it is provider responsibility. The provider has to ensure a good security to secure all the tenants' assets. And every year in every tenant's workload must be completely isolated from other tenants' workload. Okay, there is a isolation. Okay, there is a isolation of workload. There is a isolation of user logs or a tenant's logs. And here there is one more point which is given. As long as a cloud provider builds its security to meet high risk clients or low risk clients, gets better security. Which means when a provider builds a very good security by using some advanced security policies to meet all the high risk clients. Okay, high risk clients can be clients such as top MNCs, charities, and some defenses. And then, okay, if a provider provides a very good security for all these type of clients, high risk clients, which ensures that all low risk clients get better security. Low risk clients or the clients, the example of these low risk clients can be some small scale industries and some business organization. Okay, when a provider provides a good security to all the high risk clients, it ensures that all low risk clients also get the better security. The next security concern is the security assessment. Assessment means evaluation. This assessment is a continuous process. Security assessment has to be done periodically, that is either on weekly basis or on monthly basis. It is not like providing a better security at the start of the usage of all the computing resources to all the cloud consumers and later relaxing over time. In order to tackle this issue, the cloud consumer should conduct regular security assessments, regular audits, and regular reviews. The assessments should be done by someone who is well experienced and able to identify issues, and also he has a capability to fix all those issues, and the report should be provided to each client immediately after the assessment is performed, so that the client will know the current status of the cloud's overall security. Shared risk. Here both service provider and cloud consumer share equal responsibility for securing applications that is hosted in the cloud. The provider has to protect various resources or their own infrastructure, such as secure premises and data center, which means providing a secure premises for organizations or consumers, and securing the data center. And the next is securing the network firewall and securing the storage availability of resources. When a user requests for a resource, it should be available. Sometimes when there is an attack, say DOS attack or DDoS attack, then certain network resources are made unavailable to the user, and hence a provider has to ensure security to address all these types of attacks. And even the cloud consumer is also responsible for protecting their own assets in the cloud, such as identity management and access control. For example, for example, a administrator may have all rights and privileges for accessing an AWS instance, while an auditor may have only view privileges to settings or log files. Only administrators will have a complete rights and privileges to the AWS instance, but the an auditor will only have a view privileges. It can only view, okay, to settings or log files. And the next responsibility is encrypt sensitive data both in transit and on disk. So we have to encrypt all the data while it is being transmitted. For that we are using a SSL, that is secure socket layer, which is used to which is used to establish an encrypted link between server and client. The next security concern is the staff security screening. In case of this security screening, a background verification has to be done by the cloud service provider for both regular employees and contract employees. The background verification can be employment history, educational status, and other things that are mentioned in the CV by an employee. And a service provider has to publish its guidelines, rules, or policies to both the employees, and a report has to be generated for the employees once the background verification is accomplished. This screening will establish the trust between user and a service provider. Now we have a distributed data center. In case of this distributed data center, all the data center will be dispersed at various location, and a user is unaware of the exact location of data in the cloud. User doesn't have any idea whether the data is stored in this country or some other country. If the data is stored in some other country, what policies will be imposed on data? And if at all there is a disaster, the data provider should reveal what has happened to your data, whether the recovery is possible or not. If the data can be recovered, what is the time period needed for recovery, so that all business processes can be continued. There are various things which are to be addressed or questioned. The various disasters can be hurricanes, tornadoes, landslides, earthquakes, and even fiber cuts. And because of this geographically distributed data centers, a better data security can be ensured by using various disaster management services and recovery possibilities. The next security concern is the physical security. We need to in case of this physical security, we need to safeguard the server room and IT network from various physical threats. The various physical threats can be a power failure. Okay, if at all there is a power failure, okay, we know that the servers should always be running. If there is a power failure, which is going to interrupt all the network operations, and hence an alert notification has to be sent so that the internal team can work quickly to address the issue. And if at all there is an unauthorized access, to address this, a required biometric has to be installed. And if there is a fire or a smoke in the server room, Required fire detectors, smoke detectors are to be installed. And if there is a humidity in the server room, a required air conditioners are to be installed to control the humidity. And there should be a camera to record all the activities. And there should be a escorts to address or guide the customers. And alarms are needed. Okay, and alarms should be there to, and all these alarms will be activated automatically when there is a fire or smoke or a power failure in the server room. So before opting for a service from a provider, a consumer has to verify whether a data center is having all the necessary physical security components such as biometric access, surveillance camera, escorts, and automatic alarms. Next security concern is policies. Okay, to address the security, a cloud service provider has to implement various policies and regulations, and these policies should be shared with customers. The next security concern is coding. So all the cloud providers are still using their own techniques to develop software, which might be prone to security threats and bugs. And hence it is recommended to the cloud provider to use the secure coding and programming practices. It should be written based on standards that are well documented, reviewed, and accepted. So all the code must be well documented and should be demonstrated to the clients. Data control. The major concern today is data and information. How to control data and information? Since a cloud consumer will not have a complete control on data and information. So for that, to address that particular issue, all government and corporate organization have laid down compliance and regulations to handle the situation. And a cloud provider should be able to adopt or practice the guidelines that is being laid by these particular agencies. And a cloud provider should practice their own policies to meet the regulations and compliances. There should be a strong encryption mechanism for in-flight data, which means whenever a data is being transmitted from one place to the another place, a strong encryption techniques has to be used. The cloud provider should also call for rigorous risk assessment of the data at least once a year. That is what we have learned in the security assessment, right? A well experienced professional has to be there to make assessment of the data. And the report should be published periodically once the audit and assessment are completed.